call the roll, please.
Ball. Here. Walker.
Here.
Gutowski. Here. Dean Cruz.
Here.
Polanski is absent. Steggy.
Here.
Ryan Cruz is absent.
Okay, under the meeting agenda tonight, we have two special presentations. Item A, Mark Sullivan with the Madison County Road Commission will be here to provide general information of last year's road work and discuss FILER Township's road improvements. And item B, Kenny Cott with the Manistee Recreation Association is here to seek support for the MRA. Under communications and announcements, we have item A, a letter from Charter Communications highlighting their price adjustments which are effective on or after February 21st of 2017. Under department and committee reports, item A is the Water Department report from Wade Trim. Item B, the Fire Department report. C is the Zoning Administrator's report. D, Planning Commission. E is the Building and Grounds Committee. F is the PEG Commission report. G is the DDA report. And H, the Sewer Project report. Under new business tonight, we have item A, consideration of approval of the presented estimate from Richard Polson, P&H, for the plumbing work at 2111 Nelson Street in the amount of $5,091 as presented. Item B is consideration of approval for a request of financial support from the Mason Lake Conservation District in the amount of $875 for the Household Hazardous Waste Clean Sweep Collection Day, which will take place in Manistee County on Saturday, August 19, 2017. And item C is consideration of approval of an amendment of the existing employment contract between FILER Township and Sherwood Ball. Any additions to the meeting agenda for today? If not, I would entertain a motion for approval.
I so move.
Motion by Cruz, support by Steggy to approve the meeting agenda for tonight. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Under the consent agenda for tonight, we have item A, minutes of the special board meeting held on January 20th, 2017. B is the financial report. C is approval of the township general fund expenditures, including the fire department. And those include checks numbered 34253 through 34351, with accounts payable totaling $56,747.12, and payroll totaling $13,793.13 for a grand total of $70,540.25. Item D is approval of water department expenditures. Checks 2333 through 2337, totaling $12,963.32. Item E is approval to reschedule the March Township Board regular meeting from March 7th, 2017 to March 9th, 2017 at 6 p.m. Item F is approval of a request from the United Veterans Council to purchase veterans grave flags at a cost of $300 to be used in cemeteries in FILER Township. And then we have two agenda addendums here for the consent agenda. Item G is approval of budget amendment transferring $500 from the fund balance of the general fund to elections salaries. And item H is approval of the budget amendment transferring $100,000 from fund balance of the water fund to the water professional fees. Anyone have anything else for the consent agenda?
I so move.
Second.
Motion for approval by Cruz, support by Ball. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, under special presentations for tonight, Mark Solden is here with the Road Commission Manager. Mark.
Good Good evening, everybody. Thanks for having me here. I know Mr. Rochelle is supposed to be with me, so maybe he's still on the way. Basically, I hope you got that packet of information that I sent by mail. I'll just quickly go through, the packet. Obviously, there's a lot of material. The first one is kind of a detailed information about like county road commissions, road agencies in Michigan. It's pretty detailed, so if you have time, sometime if you could, take a look at it, I basically update it on an annual basis. I have a copy of our budget for the current fiscal year, which runs from October 1st of 2016 through September 30th of this year. As far as road commission goes, we generally operate with roughly a $7 to $8 million budget. It's just a one-page document. Also have another document, basically a memo that shows, it's what we call a distribution report, that shows what our routine maintenance, our road maintenance expenditures were in FILER Township during the last fiscal year, which would be basically October 1st of 2015 through September 30th of 2016. And in FILER Township, for example, on the county primary road system, we expended about $55,000 on routine maintenance. That's more or less like pothole patching, tree cutting, snow plowing, stuff of that nature. And on the local road system here in the township, we expended about $75,000. So the total for routine maintenance would have been about a little over $129,000 last fiscal year here in the township. That does not include snow plowing work that is done on some of the other main primary roads that basically go to multiple townships. There's another document that has Manistee County plow miles, and that basically lists all of the townships and the number of miles of county primary roads, local roads, with the total mileage, and if there's any seasonal roads in your township, and actually roughly the number of miles that are plowed. Here in FILER Township, you have not included, I think some of the other ones are broken out. Basically, FILER Township, county primary, you have a little over 11 miles. County local, a little over 29 miles. And then, so the total mileage is about 40. You do have like 2 miles of seasonal roads, which I believe are somewhere in the eastern part of your township. And the plowed miles is about 38 miles. Now, some of these other areas, like say, and these are kind of based on our Act 51 certification maps. So you have basically like FILER City also, and that shows about 2.5 miles of local roads. And then you have what you call Oak Hill, which is a little under 4 miles of local roads. So I guess total for the township, you have roughly, let me see here, it's basically about 40 miles, 42, about 46 to 48 miles total as far as county certified roads. As far as the entire county, we certify 1,044 miles of roads. We do have 197 miles of that number that are actually considered seasonal roads, which are really low volume, hardly used, like 2-track types of roads. We do have a state maintenance contract with MDOT for maintaining US 31, M55, M22, and M115. So we have about 83 miles that is basically, we have a contract with them for doing, the routine maintenance, pothole patching, snow plowing, stuff of that nature. I've got a document here which we call, it's a spreadsheet, pavement surface evaluation and rating, or PASER. Each year, somebody from the Road Commission, one person from MDOT, and one person from Networks Northwest They've all been trained, and we actually concurrently, we drive the federal aid paved roads in the county, and basically we have like 209 miles that are eligible for federal aid, and they are basically rated. So in other words, based on the rating system, the condition of the paved road, like a number 10 is basically excellent condition, which is a totally brand new blacktop. And a number 1 is basically failed condition. We don't have any miles that are failed. Actually, we don't have any that are shown excellent. We have some that are rated as being a 9 in excellent condition. For the 209 miles of paved federal aid primary roads that are rated last year, the average PASER rating is like a 5.4, which is basically fair condition. And some year, for example, here in FILER Township, some of the federal aid paved roads, primary roads would be like basically Maple Road, stuff of that nature. And so when it's like 5.4 average PASER rating, you know, out of 209 miles, it basically shows you have, you know, definitely a lot of needs on the county primary roads. Now, we do not rate the paved local roads in the county. You know, I think we have many years ago. That's something we have to pay for separate. Hopefully, sometime in the future, this year or following year, we'll be able to get into that where you actually drive all the roads and rate the conditions. But I would believe the paved local roads are probably in equal or worse condition than what these federal aid paved roads are. Now, on the primary system, there are more miles of roads up and above the 209 miles, but this is kind of a snapshot of, you know, the road conditions. I have a document here which is called Winter Operations and Maintenance Guidelines and Information. It basically goes through the priorities for our winter maintenance. So anytime during a snow event or slippery road events, obviously we have people working on the state system, and then concurrently we have people working on some of the main county roads. And then we get into we also have people working on the county local system too. But this kind of gives you the different priorities, you know, when we are, you know, maintaining roads, especially say on a weekend, depending on how much snow that you do have. Generally, we bring enough people in to make sure to deal with the state highway system and some of the main county roads. You know, if you have a lot of snow where, you know, I mean, the roads are pretty much impassable, and then we try to bring in, you know, full crew, you know, when needed. But it really depends on what the event is and where it is in the county too. Sometimes you have a county-wide event that, you know, you might have 12 inches of snow in the entire county. You might have other events where you might have, you know, 2-3 inches here, you might have 8 inches here, stuff of that nature. So when you bring people in on a weekend or beyond normal hours, we have to kind of really evaluate that. So this is just kind of some, you know, general information and guidelines. There's another document, the one here that's really bold. Notice basically, you know, and if you can maybe post one of these copies here at the township, we'd appreciate it. You know, I think that people have been fairly good as far as the snow plowing, you know, for residential driveways, you know, commercial driveways and parking areas and that. But sometimes you get people that are snow plowing that actually plow the snow from the driveway or the parking area, you know, into the roadway, which isn't good. It's, you know, an unsafe situation. When our maintenance supervisors are out and about, if they do see some situations, they will try to contact the people. If nobody's at home, they will actually, they have some little signs that are similar to this. They'll have it on wood stake and they'll stick it right in the snowbank, and I think generally the people have been pretty good at, you know, dealing with things. It's hard to police. I mean, you know, generally like this will say you don't want to be pushing the snow across the roadway. You know, unfortunately it happens all over the county. You know, typically if people are good at cleaning up after themselves, you know, keeping the road, you know, clear of the road, snow. it's not a big deal, but, this is something, if you don't mind, posting at your township, we appreciate it. As far as a quick update on things, this time of the year, I mean, obviously, like the type of weather we had today, we had people out, probably pothole patching, even cutting trees, stuff of that nature. Really not too many people out dealing with any type of winter maintenance, no later on tonight or tomorrow, depending on what happens, when you got heavy rain and then it turns cold, I can imagine we're gonna have a lot of slippery roads, especially the back roads that are like, the gravel roads that have snowpack on them. Because once you get a lot of heavy rain and then you get cold temperatures, it's going to be pretty slippery. So we will have, people out basically sanding a lot of the roads. We do run, as far as routine maintenance on the state highway system. Pretty much we have somebody working almost 24/7 on the state system. With our maintenance contract, like right now, we do have a person that is, at least one person that is patrolling second shift, and then we have actually a third shift person that comes in at 10 o'clock. And say if you had an event, slippery roads, or else you have a snow event, he's basically running, the roads all night, basically snow plowing or treating the roads. Now, if you got situations where we have to call more people in, then we basically do that, so. And if you had an event where we had, the roads really slippery, even the county roads, we basically call people in early, on overtime. The approximate snowfall to date that we've recorded is roughly about 71 inches. It's nothing real scientific that we do on that. Our maintenance supervisor will check like maybe 4 locations in the county and kind of average things, but that's what we show on our website. The normal, I think the average snowfall we get here is roughly about 120 inches each year. So I think we're probably pretty comparable to maybe the last few winters. I guess it really depends on what happens from here till, winter is done. I know obviously about 3 years ago we had, record snowfall, over 200 inches, so that was a lot of snow. As far as federally funded projects last year, we did Seaman Road down in Norman Township. That was totally ground up and repaved. As far as locally funded projects between like Akasha with the townships and the road commission, we completed 11 projects, and I kind of have those on your agenda here, in various locations. A few of the bigger ones that we did a new timber bridge up on Coates Highway, or Keela Creek, kind of where Coates Highway, the east-west portion, turns north to go into basically Wexford County. Just north of that intersection, there was a major project, over $500,000 project, which was funded through the Forest Service, and then the county obtained sustained our Great Lakes grant for $90,000, and the road commission paid for the rest of it. So that was, definitely a major, project, a brand new timber bridge. And then there's a key project we did over in basically between Brown and Manistee Township. That one section of Malark Road that kind of completes that section that was not paved before. It's a little over 4/10 of a mile. That was basically totally reconstructed, regraded, and then paved by I think it was like early November when we finished everything. And then we did some miscellaneous projects. As far as 2017 federal and state funded projects, we are doing Cotton Cedar Road between Lakeshore and Donce Road. That's going to be totally ground up and repaved, and that's actually, we have funding, what they call small urban funding, which is funds up to like $375,000, and then actually the tribe is going to participate in the project also as far as the construction cost goes, up to like about $150,000. So that will be completed starting probably sometime this summer. It'll be in the MDOT letting, I believe the early June letting. And then we are doing work on the River Road system between Malark and High Bridge Roads, a little over 9 miles. the really bad area, which is near the rivers, where the rivers come close to the roadway. That's going to have a blacktop overlay. And then the rest of it's going to be what they call blacktop wedging, you know, repair some of the bad areas and fix some of the distorted areas. And then it'll be chip sealed. Then we have a small section of blacktop overlay on Hoxieville Road right by the Dublin store. It's about, 0.3 of a mile. Locally funded projects this year. I know I've received requests from some townships so far. I still need to do some estimates, but I guess if your township has something in mind that you want to do with the road commission with a cost share, let me know. And then this spring, I'll be out, driving a lot of projects and putting some detailed estimates together. The transportation funding, basically with the legislation that was passed in November of 2015, there is some additional funding that we will be receiving, and actually probably a lot of people know the first of the year, the gas tax, the state gas tax actually went up by 7.3 cents. And then there's changes, there's increases to the vehicle registration fees too, starting this year. And that was the whole intent, is to try to get more transportation funding. And they had estimated that I believe roughly this fiscal year we'd be getting approximately $800,000 in more revenue. Now, in perspective, $800,000, if you did it strictly for road work, that would be enough to maybe grind up and repave about 3 miles of road. And just on the federal aid system alone, like I said, we probably have, 50 miles that could be, overlaid with blacktop or else ground up and repaved. And because I believe some of the funds are actually, they come out of the general fund, and then some are actually related to the, the gas tax increase and the vehicle registration fee changes. With everything else going on, as far as a guarantee on the general fund is it's a different story. So we'll see what happens in Lansing. Unfortunately, if it's just coming out of the general fund, sometimes they shift it someplace else. So time will tell. But basically by 2021, they are anticipating that hopefully, see our normal gas tax revenue and vehicle registration fee revenue, it was roughly about 3.8 million. So they anticipate by year 2021 that we might be receiving an additional maybe 2.5 million if things work out the way they're supposed to be. And that's going to be definitely at least, headed in the right direction, be able to do more, basically more capital improvements, and then also, that money can be used for equipment updates, stuff of that nature. Because the last time they increased the gas tax was 1997, and it was a fixed 19 cents per gallon. Since then, until this past January, and out of that 19 cents, 6 cents is given to road commissions based on different formulas, number of miles of county primary roads, local roads, stuff of that nature. So at least they passed some legislation where eventually it's going to help the road system. So as far as staffing goes, with all of the the retirement stuff like that, we did hire 3 new full-time truck drivers recently. 2 of them started in December, and then 1 of them just started actually this past Monday. We do have 3 seasonal truck drivers that work for us typically in the winter time. And, I anticipate, depending on what happens this year, if we do have, more retirements and depending on the work schedule, stuff of that nature, we'll see as far as if we, have to hire, more people in the future. So that's pretty much all I have, unless you have questions.
Just a couple things, Mark. First of all, thanks for your report. I read through all of that at home and found it very interesting.
Didn't put you to sleep, I hope.
No, it was interesting. I like a lot of the historical information, but then looking at funding, and as you alluded to, section. Looking like we're going to make some gains. It looks like we may have in excess of $6 million coming to the road commission in
I think they're estimating in 2021.
Yeah,
Hopefully by that time we'd be.
but looking at the same time, looking at the cost to do just a little bit of work.
Right.
It's, you know, I just found it amazing how far you gotta stretch that dollar to get
Right.
very much done. I do appreciate the in-depth report you gave us and also appreciate what the road commission, the task that you face in trying to keep the county roads,
Sure.
city roads, township roads, and everything else in a good shape. And we appreciate that. I do have a question.
Mhm.
As long as you're talking about projects, and we haven't, as a township, we haven't really talked about any road projects, but a question came up earlier tonight about Maple Street,
Yep.
south of 12th Street.
Yep.
The section that is city-owned. Oh, you've
Yep.
already been,
Well,
already been there.
okay.
Okay. I want you to speak to that
Sure.
briefly if you could.
Well, you know, basically on Maple South of 12th, it is a county certified road. Actually, you know, I did apply for small urban funding for that, as, you know, being one of our future projects. Now with the small urban funding, like I said, you know, in fact, we submitted for, I think, Cotton Suda back a few years ago. We're more or less like on a rotation basis with county transit, and then the city of Manistee for the small urban funding. And there's no guarantees that Manistee County will receive $375,000 small urban funding each year. You know, because apparently there's only so much money and you pretty much compete statewide. And so what, we do have funding for Cotton Suda this year. And then I believe I looked at the MDOT website recently, and I think transit was approved for a project either next year or the following year. And then there's a few years where, you know, MDOT or whoever makes the selections in Lansing did not approve any of the projects in Manistee County yet. Now, I've had some recent correspondence with Jeff from the city that, you know, I know they're always out there obviously digging up, you know, the water main situation, because that is actually a city water main that is underneath our roadway. And the whole intent is for them to deal with the water main issue. Apparently they went out and they actually replaced a lot of their water service leads because they thought that was the problem. But apparently I believe what he had told me recently, it had something to do with the gas main must have had some type of impact on the water service leads, you know, something of that nature. So they're basically, I think they're going to be dealing with that situation. And then, you know, hopefully in the future we'll get the funding to deal with that section of Maple Street. You know, that's kind of the intent. You know, unless the city deals with it and the township would like to do a cost share with the road commission, that's something we could, you know, we could take a look at. But, you know, meanwhile, I think, you know, if the city keeps digging it up, because of the water main situation, they've been, I think, hopefully, you know, patching it back in. But then other, you know, bad areas in the roadway, obviously, we deal with our routine, you know, pothole patching and stuff like that, so.
But the fact that that work was done, the road was dug up because of issues with their water system,
Yeah.
then they're responsible for repairs of that, just like we've had
Oh,
two this winter
right.
and several last winter, and then we pay for the repaving and et cetera.
Right, all of the patchwork, that's their responsibility. Anything related to the water main, it's their water main that's,
Right.
you know, under our road. But I mean, as far as that's what, I think initially, like back within the last few years, the city thought, you know, what they were doing with the water service leads was taking care of the situation. They found out it wasn't. You know, and I think that's what Jeff had told me recently, that it was something to do with the gas main or cathodic protection or whatever the case may be, where it had apparently some impact on the actual, the water service leads or something, so. That's why they were, it was actually, they kept digging it up because leaks were, kept developing, so, so until such time the water main is dealt with, you wouldn't want to go in and, do anything with it, so.
No.
Other than,
But the patch, the minor repair is our responsibility.
That's correct. Yeah, it's nothing that we're, expending, as far as it would be the city's responsibility. If they keep digging up for the water main situation, it's their responsibility to basically, patch it back in, so. And obviously, this time of the year, if they do have the water main situation, all they can do is put cold patch in, until they can do a, more permanent repair, when blacktop plants open up with the main.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Anybody else have any questions of Mark? Oh, yeah, thank you. Drains. We did and I don't recall, if it was
Catch basins.
2013 or 14, cleaning of all of our catch basins.
Okay.
And we did and I think that was after you came in, I don't think it was under Jerry Peterson. And we did a cleaning of all the drains, and then we did kind of a cost sharing with the road commission, where I believe the road commission took care of all the primaries, 28th Street, Nelson, Filer City Road, 21st, etc. And we did the others, and then after the fact, we were told that we don't own any of those. And so I'm wondering, we do have some that need cleaning again.
Okay.
And is that financial liability on the township or on the road commission then?
Well, I know we've had discussion over the last few years about that, so I'm gonna, check my file.
Sure. Yeah, I know there are a few that have gotten to the point where we're probably gonna have to have them cleaned again this spring, summer.
Okay.
So, yeah, we can touch base on that.
Yeah, let me check my records. I know we've had discussion on it over the last few years. I can't remember. It seemed like there were, at that point in time, it seemed like there was something with Kasha or something, but let me check.
Anything else?
Okay.
Thank you, Mark.
Appreciate it, and if you have additional questions, anytime, feel free to call the road commission. Thanks.
Thank you. Let's see, item B. Any comment?
Good evening. Thanks again for letting me come and present. I apologize, last year I wasn't able to come and do our annual presentation. I had multiple meetings scheduled on the same day. I wasn't able to make it, but just try and keep this remotely brief, and we'll go through a quick report on last year and talk about the coming year for us too. So, starting my third year as the executive director of the MRA, and I'm pleased to say each year that I've been here, we've increased not only our programs but our participation as well. Going from 2015 to 2016, our participation went up from 777 to 826 people throughout the county. Our total programs registrations increased from 1,410 to 1,522, so 1,522. A couple reasons for that. In the past year, we did add a 3rd and 4th grade basketball program for boys and girls that was really successful in 2016. Had over 90 kids participate in that. We added some U11 to our traveling soccer program, which has been really successful in the past couple of years. So basically just a younger age group than we had before, giving us more options. We added a Grand Valley State University soccer camp, where their coach actually came to Manistee and did a week-long camp for us for a lot of our high school kids. We're always looking to add new things as well. I definitely want to keep going where we're at. I've already been in conversation about a U5 soccer program. Typically our stuff starts at age 5 and it goes up for the kids. We're trying to go a little bit younger for that. We get a lot of parents that have questions on what can we do with our youth that is under age 5. I've got a 3-year-old that's got a ton of energy, So we're trying to kind of expand down a little bit more as we go up. Same thing with the pool programs. You know, we're really popular with our swim programs we've got, usually start at age 6 months. There's actually a couple things now we're looking at for under age 6 months that they're coming out with to possibly just get a few more kids into the pool with their parents. So, you know, along with not reinventing the wheel, I've been in conversation with a couple of the local programs in town, such as Little League, possibly trying to partner with them a little bit and see what we can do as far as working together to kind of help make both organizations a little bit better. So, you know, anything, I say this every year to every township, everywhere I go, if there's anything that you want to see, you want to help, you know, think that might work really well, let me know. I'd love to discuss it. You know, we're always looking to kind of help expand where we're at as it is. As far as FILER Township goes, everybody has the funding formula sheet that I passed out earlier. Just kind of go through numbers really quick. In 2016, there was 134 residents from FILER Township, equaling 259 activity registrations. Compare that to 2015. In 2015, we had 139 participants from FILER Township and 261 registrations. So pretty similar as far as year to year for the last couple of years for FILER, but overall things were up. So we did have 6 scholarships requested from FILER Township, totaling $205. Overall, we gave 71 scholarships, totaling just over $2,500 for the year. Just to recap too, scholarships are available for anyone that participates in any of our programs. If they meet financial restrictions, they can come to us confidentially, fill out a form, and we would then waive all of their fees to participate in our programs. So we don't want to turn anybody away from anything that we do. You know, and usually it's right around that $2,500 mark. It has been upwards of over $3,000, you know, in previous years as well. But this year, our program fee went down a little bit from last year. So each year we take our annual expense for our organization, divided by the total number of registrations for the year. That came out to be $68.89, and last year it was just over $70 for the program fee. Multiply the total registrations from each township by that program fee, and then divide it by 0.5 and 0.55, and then we ask for a number in that range. So for FILER Township this year, the amount that we're asking to contribute to stay current with our participating residents is $8,921.26 and $9,813.38. Compare that to the $10,000 contribution we made in 2016. So it's down a little bit, but you know, like I said, the numbers are pretty close based on the amount of participation that we've had from FILER Township for 2016. So I do have, there's a list of participants as well that I handed to Kathy earlier. So just kind of outlining everyone that has participated in our program from FILER Township. You know, FILER's been a really constant contributor to what we do for a long time. And there's a lot of people in FILER Township that really are grateful for the support that you give us year after year, along with myself. You know, really, really pleased that we can continue this relationship for years to come. So, questions about anything at all? So,
Anyone have any questions?
please, I'd be happy. By all means, I kind of burned through it. I know I talk a little fast sometimes, but. And this again is nothing that we need to approve today. I'd like to get it to you guys, you know, a little bit ahead of time. I know your fiscal year ends March 31st, I believe. So you've got a month and a half to kind of discuss it. You know, no rush really at all on that. Your participation is still current until I hear otherwise from the township. So all of my contact info is on that sheet as well. You know, Shirley knows how to get in touch with us too. So. But definitely let me know, you know, if there is any questions that come up or any way I can help, you know, in the meantime.
So with our contribution, our residents receive a discounted rate on their registrations of
Yes.
how much?
Roughly $42 per program. Non-participating townships pay $72 right now is the rate. Participating for a majority of the MRA programs is about 30. So some are less, some are a little more. But so it's pretty significant as far as that goes. And that people ask a lot too, that $72, where do we get that figure? I think originally when this was established, which I'm not sure how long ago this was established, this funding formula, but as I said, that program fee is roughly $70 every year, I think. That's where that 72 comes from. So just FYI.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else have any questions of Ken?
Okay, wonderful.
Ken.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate your time. So, have a great night.
Okay, moving on, communications and announcements. You have the letter in your packet from Charter Communications reflecting their costs, which will be effective on or after February 21st, 2017. And that takes us to public comment. Public comment.
What is the price adjustment on charter? On the charter communications, it says price adjustment, what are we talking about?
Basic TV service will be adjusted to $23.89 according to this letter.
It doesn't tell what it is now, just what it's
Yeah.
going to.
what it's going to be.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know what that is. right
Sure, it's
now.
less.
Yeah. I'm almost thinking it's $19.99 or something like that. I'm not
So it's
positive.
their price, it's not what the township gets for their lines.
No.
No, it's their price to
It's their
us.
price
It's
to
about $23.99.
Yeah,
$23.89. And then TV Select, okay, now here they do give, TV Select is increasing from $59.99 to $62.99, so that's going up $3. The Latino View is increasing from $6.99 to $7.99. And that's all they highlight here, Betty, as far as their increases.
Still free.
So that's just their company, what, it's not the township,
No.
the township makes one.
No.
Okay, thanks.
Any other public comment?
Hello, my name is Bob Rochelle, I'm the chairman of the road commission. I apologize for being late, and this is no excuse, but all the other meetings that we go to is at 7, and I forgot to look at my printout that says I'm sure 6. That's why when I stepped out, Mark met me. So I apologize. If you have any questions at all, I would be more than welcome to answer anything that you have, so. Other than that.
Okay, I think Mark pretty well answered.
He usually does. I usually just sit here like a deaf mute and let him do it. So, thanks again, and I apologize.
No problem.
So, we need to go.
Okay.
Okay, under department and committee reports,
Sorry about that, Mark.
included in your packet, you have the water department report, and I guess Tammy didn't get that. You didn't have another one at your
No.
spot. Okay, well, another report came in today from Wade Trim, and I asked Tammy to put copies there, so we'll have to get copies of that to you later. Okay, B, fire department report. Ron.
We had 27 calls for service that fell in this month's operating period. As noted in my report, 5 of those were from October from last year. So last year total came to 314 responses. We also had our annual EMS meeting, inspection with the state of Michigan, our agency inspection for our license, which we passed with flying colors. They used to do an annual vehicle inspection. Now they've changed that, left that up to the person doing the agency inspection. And she said, we've done such an excellent job in the past of our agency and our heating inspections that she didn't feel it was necessary to inspect our vehicle. I've also included, I believe you've all received a copy of our personnel roster as well. If you have any questions about that, I'd be happy to answer those. Other than that, that's all I have.
Anyone have any questions of Ron?
On a personal note, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ron. And Ron's going to be leaving right away to go to their fire department meeting, which has been changed to Tuesdays now during the
Tuesdays?
training.
Yes, we have the medical class going on there on Tuesday, on Mondays and Thursdays. So we moved our fire meetings to Tuesday. I'm going to head over there.
Okay, thanks, Ron.
Thank you.
You have Lynn's report, zoning administrator's report in your packet, and you see there's been a little more activity here.
So we have a lot of business here, huh?
Yeah, quite a bit going on. Yeah, of course, the one item on here, the land use application from TES, I think, yeah, all of us made it down there on that tour between yesterday and today, so that was good. And I think Dale went yesterday too.
Yep, Dale.
Yeah.
Ready to go through your head for
Oh, that's right, yeah. But Ron went. Okay, item D, Planning Commission, you have the minutes of their January 17th meeting in your packet. Shirley, is there anything you want to add to that, to those minutes?
Not the minutes. We will be having a hearing on the condo request this month. And as you said, we all had a visit. Not all, I guess, because some of the planners didn't go either. The word, except for Kathy went, but some of the planners didn't make it. So we'll see what comes of that on the 21st of February.
I know Linda Rogers went today. I know Rick was not planning on going. Did any other planners make it? Roger?
I don't believe Krista made it. I do know Roger made it.
Roger,
Oh, he did?
usually
Okay,
does.
good. Good. Okay.
Doesn't look like you had to make too many changes for the Sears store.
There were some very minute changes, but there were a few.
Is that coming before the board too?
It's all done.
Oh,
They got their permit signed, so they're good to open up already, you know,
that's good.
at this point here, when we had the meeting.
Okay, item E is the building and grounds, and you've got the building and grounds minutes from the January meeting in your packet. I guess the only thing that I would highlight there is the Nelson Street office building is, work has really picked up on that in the last 3 weeks or so. The ADA compliant bathroom is pretty much done, other than, and I'm not sure if the plumbing fixtures are in or not. I was down there, I haven't been down there yet this week, I was down there at the end of last week. Yeah, okay. They were, I know, at a point where they were ready for that, and I don't.
I know all the basement stuff was done, the plumbing.
Right. So, and the
And your wiring is.
wiring, I think he's finishing up either today or tomorrow. We started,
Oh, your trees are down
back in
too.
there, pardon me?
Your trees are down too.
Yeah, Shaw took that large oak down. And I didn't check, I didn't look to see if he took the maple down too, but that was, he was supposed to take that
There's two of them down.
Okay, so he took the maple on the north side of the drive. So right now, it's, and I talked with Matt Pomeroy today, and he's going to have his inspection done, and so it's moving right along. It's moving right along real well. PEG Commission, you have the January report in your packet. Is there anything you would like to add to the PEG Commission report? Okay. The DDA minutes are in your packet, and I guess maybe I would just add at this point that one of the things that was talked about today was the update of the township website, and Tamara did pass out some information on that, and she is going to be sending out an email with this website on it, so you can go on and access it and look at it right now before it even goes up.
It is up.
It is.
It is up, okay, now.
And there's
My
errors on it,
understanding.
so did you address the errors?
I wasn't aware of any errors.
Oh.
I didn't see
Been
that.
on it in any detail. But I think she had said she was gonna email the DDA members that information, and I suggested she email it to the board as well. So if you get that, maybe reply with the errors that you found, and she can get with Shelley, Christy Shelley on that, and hopefully get that taken care of then. The sewer project, I spoke with Brian Sousa last week, Friday, and they are in the process of trying to get things ironed out on the easements and right-of-ways that are on that piece of property, the Eden property that we're looking at purchasing, where the lift station is going to go. And I think they're pretty close on that. And once they get that done, then they'll have the location of the lift station, and they will have the easement to go to rural development with. And the last emails that I received from Richard Wilson on the family fair easement, as of last week, that was getting wrapped up. I guess verbal confirmations on it. Didn't have anything in writing yet, any signatures, but so that should be resolved. And Blake Smith stopped in last week. I don't recall if it was Thursday or Friday, and those were two of his primary concerns right now, those two easements. So hopefully those will be wrapped up and finalized real soon. And then I think Brian will be going out for permits with MDOT and with DEQ and the County Road Commission. And then the next step will be bids. So things are moving, just not as fast as I'd like to see it move, but they're moving. Okay, new business. We have the consideration of approval for the presented estimate from Richard Polson for plumbing at the Nelson Street office building. And you can see that includes pretty much everything with the exception of grab bars and toilet paper dispenser, those minor things that are not included in that. And that bid is in the amount of $5,091. which we felt was a pretty reasonable bid. And Building and Grounds did recommend this bid.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Cruz, support by Stady to approve this presented bid from Polson P&H for the plumbing work at 2111 Nelson Street in the amount of $5,900. Any discussion on that?
It came in at less than,
Pardon me?
it came in at less than.
Did it? Okay, I wasn't aware of that.
Was it a partial bill though?
You're saying you got a bill on it? Okay, well, we'll just have to check and see if that's a final. But you want to do a roll call?
Sure.
Kathy?
Paul?
Yes.
Gutowski, yes. Stady?
Yes.
Walker?
Yes.
Dean Cruz?
Yes.
Item B under new business is consideration of approval for a request of financial support from the Mason Lake Conservation District in the amount of $875 for the household hazardous waste clean sweep collection day, and that will take place in Manistee County on Saturday, August 19th, and that again will take place at the Road Commission buildings. And as you saw in the letter from them, that's an increase of 5 cents per resident for this year. This clean sweep operation has been so popular, their costs have increased, and they've been able to hold that cost at 32 cents per resident for 2 or 3 years now. And this is the first increase we've seen in at least 2 years.
A lot of people like it.
Yeah, it's very, very
Got
popular.
rid of $875 worth of stuff myself.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Ball, support by Stady to approve the request for financial support from Mason Lake Conservation District in the amount of $875 for the household hazardous waste clean sweep collection day. Any further discussion? I don't think we need to do a roll call on this one, 875. So let's just do a yea and nay. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item C under new business is consideration of approval on an amendment of the existing employment contract between FILER Township and Shirley Ball. And you have that in your packet, essentially extending the number of hours per year to 200 hours. So any discussion or questions on that? And I know Shirley, Kathy, you gave me, I think, the total hours for both Ruth and Shirley to date. And pretty apparent that we're gonna go over that.
We're doing pretty well on the training of software. We have audit coming up,
Yeah.
but she did,
An audit
some
takes,
election stuff, so, you know, those extra hours
There couldn't be enough hours, huh?
It should.
well, it should be, yeah, it should be. Audit will take quite a bit, but, and I'm just kind of wondering too, like going forward, once we get through the audit and the rest of the election stuff, if, you know, some of that stuff you can get help from MTA on. I know stuff, you know, in a general nature, but stuff specific to the filer, you're probably still gonna have to call and ask questions.
She hasn't been here, not like at the beginning.
Oh, no.
So,
Most of that time was gobbled up in the first few weeks.
Yeah. Well, and it, you know, I look at that and, you know, I question that. I'm saying, okay, you know, we're paying 2 clerks' wages and 2 treasurers' wages, but by the same token, if we weren't getting that help, that assistance, at that $20 per hour, you know, and started referring some of those questions, obviously, Shirley can answer after 20 years here, that you would be calling legal for, we'd be paying $260 an hour, and that would take too many of those calls to eat that up, so.
I'll make the motion to accept it.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Cruz, support by Stady to approve the amendment to the existing employment contract between FILER Township and Shirley Ball. Any other discussion?
Oh, it costs a lot more money.
Let's go ahead and do a roll call on this.
Towson, yes. Walker,
Yes.
Ball,
I have to abstain.
Abstain.
Stiggy,
Yes.
Dean Cruz.
Yes.
Okay. We still have, okay, public comment. Yeah, it's consent, yeah. No public comment, no further. Did you get your questions answered? It sounded to me like we can't be liable.
They said the road commission wouldn't do anything until the city takes
Right.
care of the water department problem.
It'd be a waste of money to
Right,
resurface that road and then have it dug up again for,
right.
so. And we've got 2 freeze-ups that we've dealt with so far this winter, and we're just waiting for probably May, maybe April, before we can get those blacktop over, so. Okay, if there's anything else to come before the board, Dean, do you have anything?
No, I have nothing except the trees look nice now.
Yeah. Is the wood gone? I know.
Nope,
I
wood's still
talked-
there.
okay, I talked with Mark today while I was on my way to Lakeland for the tour, and he was, thought he told me some of that was out of there. He was getting some of it out of there, but not all of it, so. And I did have a phone call on Sunday inquiring about that wood. And I said, no, that's,
You're telling me we're gonna be burning on our
part
fire?
of a, yeah, no, he's, yeah, it's part of getting a lower bid on it. Yeah, yeah, actually, I got a break on a bid from, flooding too, yeah.
They got the other tree, the other one down too, didn't they?
Yeah, I called consumers on that because
That was.
John took as much down as he could, but there was a good-sized limb that was hung up over 2 of the guide wires, and if that snapped those guide wires, those power lines might come down and it'd be a dangerous situation, so consumers took care of that. Kathy, do you have anything else?
Shirley and I went to Manistee Township last night and looked at first of the 3 election equipment.
Oh,
The new election equipment was presented by the lowest bidder. Very interesting in what's coming down the pike as far as elections go. I'll be real curious to see what happens.
is it going to be an improvement, or?
Oh, you won't even believe it. Yes, it was an interesting presentation. We have 2 more to do before we make a decision, so.
Good. Tom, do you have anything? I have. Sure. I have nothing, so I'd entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll move that we adjourn.
And I'll support. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. This meeting is adjourned.